Okay guys, welcome back, Mossy5734, coming at you with an unboxing guys of some rare Kyosho Mini Unzis and obviously a look at the project cars that I want to be using in my new vid. Right, okay, so as I mentioned guys, I did get a bundle of Mini Zs from the UK and this is probably the last one in that bundle, I think it is. Alright, now I have this shell in blue, I have it in red, but I didn't have it in black, and I thought in black it's like a bit of a different animal, it's like a bit of a beast. So, got it in black, and I'm hoping that I can put this in my race vids, because I haven't actually had a Ford GT in my race vids yet. And blue's pretty cool, but I don't know, I think black just looks loads better. With them wheels, it looks like a total animal. Alright, so we're going to see that on the display stand, guys. These didn't come with cases, but they are new. They've not been used at all. There's no damage on the front at all, anywhere in the car. So yeah, so it was kind of like a bargain. But yeah, okay. And carrying on with my little theme, guys. So the project that I'm doing, I'm going to unbox one of the cars that I'm going to be using in that project, and this is the brother of the one I unboxed in the last vid. Okay, so I'm expecting it all to be very similar to the last one that I unboxed, and I think this should be again an upgraded version of the original Charisma cars that I bought. And I'm pretty tempted to use these and then turn them into buggies, so I don't know, I'll see how I get on. Oh, just put a bit more tape. Right. Oh, quite nice looking actually. That's no bad. Alright. So again, I don't like that transmitter. I think it looks horrible. It's got got shocks, but they don't have oil inside them. Slipper clutch. I don't know if that's high speed, but yeah, whatever. And it's got suspension arms and brushless motor. The old one used to be brushed and it was 3.7 volts, and this seems to be an upgrade, and that's not a bad body. Not obviously as real as a Mini Z body, but not bad. So powerful 8000 kV brushless motor, and that's standard in these. It's got high speed steering servo, brushless power, 7.2 volt battery inside it, and it's officially licensed. It's 4-wheel drive, it's ready to run, so it's got batteries for the transmitter and batteries for the car that come with it. Okay, so the only downside is they don't look real because it's got Lexan body and it flexes when you drive, but glad to say that they have improved these cars from the way they released them. Official bodies, much better. Actual wheels, which is better than just putting a sticker on a flat wheel. The fact that they've improved the steering linkages, which was a weak spot, and that they've made it brushless, right? It should be a beast, should be a total beast. So let's cut the tape on this little bad boy, and not myself. One bit of tape? I don't believe it. Oh, alright, this one goes, it's a bit different to the other one. Imagine that this was like a one-off, there's no other in the world. I'd just like destroy the box. That's kind of like I'm gifted in doing that. Alright, here's the reveal. So this opens from the top, this one opens from the side. Don't like them transmitters, man. I'll tell you how it is, guys. I don't like that transmitter at all. But I'm glad they've done it, and the fact that the parts are interchangeable, this is going to end up being a bugger. Whoa, this is different. This is much different. Ooh, this is a lot more posh. So remember Fuel the Feeling? That was a completely different kind of setup. And this seems like class. If this was my introduction to Charisma, I'd be like, whoa, this is a class operation. That doesn't want to come out. Is it tape? Is it stuck? Oh, it's all one bit. Oh! Sorry, I thought it was 2 bits. You've got to pull it out with both fingers. Both the holes. Okay, right. That must be the transmitter. And I think it's exactly the same as the other one. Don't drop it. Yep. This is more professionally packed than the other one. Got your spare gear in there, your 2 pinion gears. So it's kind of identical to the other one. It's a 7.2 volt NUMA battery. You got your charger. They've got batteries that come with it, so that's class ready to run. Because you pop them in, charge them up, and ready to go. Don't like this. Not a fan. Really tacky, plasticky. One of them that you can hear rattling even before you even use it. Sorry, man. I'm just gonna tell you how it is, guys. Yeah. But the car, I'm impressed with. Transmitter, I'm not impressed with. The car, I probably am gonna be impressed with. Okay, let's do the reveal. Don't drop the car. Hello, where are you opening from? You should be here. Come on, man. Ah, right. Before I completely destroy the box. That's not bad. That's no bad. Much bigger than a Mini Z. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't drawn to it on the Lexan body. You know, I like making my race vids, innit, guys? And when you've got this driving and the body's flexing, it doesn't look real at all. But apart from that, good paint job. Much improved over the first version they brought out. Colours really nice. Decals spot on. Wheels nice. They've really, compared to their original, this is much better, guys. Really improved. Transmitter's not too cracky, but the car looks awesome. Shame you can't put lights in them. That's something Charisma need to look at. I understand because they're fast, guys, and there's no protection on the front. So if it was like a molded shell, you'd smash it. No, not in the first day. No problem. So you need that bit of flex and bounce when it comes off a wall. But these will crack as well. But apart from that, it's nice. Definitely is nice. It's got a... I can just tell it's quality, man. So Charisma, props to you guys. You've upped your game. You guys have upped your game. Because I was not impressed with your first car. The car is better. Work on your remote, guys. The car is much better. This is... Obviously, it's been out a while, guys. So they're not going to be too interested in my comments. But... it's been out for about 2 or 3 years, the upgraded version, and I wasn't too. There was nothing I was interested in because I thought I'm going to use these, but then I thought about it. I thought my new project, I probably could convert that to a buggy. I could use that and then convert it. So yeah, let's have a look. The chassis is exactly the same, all right, but yeah, they should have had that bumper sticking out a little bit more. Are the tyres hard or the soft? Okay, that's interesting. Because the short course truck tyres are rock hard on that, man. Rock hard. And I'm surprised that they've gone, because these are going to balloon, especially with a LiPo battery in it. But really, guys, I mean, the tub plastic chassis, it's exactly the same. Electrics are obviously going to be improved for a brushless motor. They could have done shock oil in the shocks. Steering linkage is better, but I think they should have beefed it up a little bit more. Because it still is quite thin. Brushless is going to be fun. These things are going to shift. And I remember before, sometimes your dog bones will pop out when you'd hit something. So hopefully you don't have that problem with these anymore. And it is proportional steering, nice. That actually feels pretty cool. I don't like them small servos, but yeah, that's alright. But yeah. So if you don't like it, change it to a buggy. You'll be alright. So yeah, if they were to move it up, I would recommend get a better transmitter. I would recommend that they make the steering linkages a bit more beefed up. On the dog bones, they should offer optional parts. I don't think they do, to go to alloy. They should have a limiter on it. I don't know if they have, but because they're quick, you're going to be surprised, man. They're quick. They are quick. Right, I'm looking to do backflips with this. So if it handles the abuse I'm going to give it, awesome. Right, that's not going to last long, especially the way. Okay, ignore that bit. That's not going to last long if you're driving it indoors and you're driving pretty hard, right? But as I said, the fact that you can change that to a buggy, you're going to increase the ride height a little bit, right? There's no body to smash. You could probably fit a little bumper onto it. People are making 3D printed bumpers to put on them, so you can actually beef that up. Pretty cool. And outdoors, it's ready to go outdoors. Yeah, you can jump them, no problem. I would jump that, no problem. I'd be more comfortable jumping it as a bugger, but I'd still jump that. Yeah, not mental, guys, but you know, like, you know, at least 3 or 4 foot off the ground, no problem, as long as you know how to land them. But yeah, okay, that's that little beauty, that little baby. Let's move on. And so I think the next one's gonna be my last one in this. Now, the last video is gonna be one from like 2 years ago that was supposed to be the last video 6 times. So I've just saved it to the end. So if you see cars in there that don't make sense, it's because it was supposed to be the last video from like 4, 5, 6 times ago. And yeah. Right, let's move on. But you know what? I've got to give it charisma. That felt like a class experience. That unboxing felt class. You know, the way that it was like opening a Mac product. You know, the way the whole boxing was, the way it was put in there. Transmitters let the look down a little bit. Body shell's really nice. It's a shame they can't do anything about the flex, but they're not going for the real look anyway. But yeah, I would actually rate that over a 110 scale just cause the durability. I think, you know what I mean, if they beefed it up a little bit, I think it'd be pretty strong. That you're not going to jump a 110 scale on-road car. You could jump that, no problem. No problem. Things wouldn't break. As long as they've beefed up the steering linkages and the dog bones don't pop out, I don't think you'll have a problem. And if the buggy's got exactly the same, which I think it has, and that's jumping, you're alright, you're sorted. And that's one thing I always did, guys. I know it sounds daft yet, but I always went for cars in the 1/8 scale cars that had the platform of a bugger. Because if that car is just like a buggy, yeah, but they've just converted it to on-road with the shocks and the tyres, and you know it's going to be tough. You know it's going to be tough. That thing's jumping, blooming 15 feet off the ground with a different setup. You know that's a tried and tested chassis, drivetrain. So yeah, and I wouldn't have any issues with that. I wouldn't jump a 110 scale drifting car. I would jump that, no problem. Okay, just letting you know, guys, if for your kids, if they got better at driving RCs, that's something you'd want to get them, honestly. They'd have fun with that. But it might be a bit fast, and I hope they've got a speed limiter on it, because they're nippy things, man. You're going to be hearing duck all day long. Your kids will be crashing into the fridge, crashing into people. But yeah, but they're fun, man. And you know what they should have done? It's 4-wheel drive. They should have included drift wheels with it. That would have been awesome. And an optional gyro, right? But that would have been the icing on the charisma cake. Anyhow, just my 2 pence. But yeah. Right, let's move on. Check them out on the display stand, guys. Ready for the next vid. Mossy5734. Get subscribed, notified, and be ready. Okay, guys, here we've got the Ford GT. And it's looking kind of mean with them wheels. So it goes pretty well with the car. Yep. I'm not a massive fan of the Ford GT, guys. I think it's a cool body shell. But I tell you what, though. I like the way Traxxas brought it out for their Fortec. That looked cool. Them 2 colours that they had, right? You know, Traxxas moved away from... I'm glad they moved away from the rubbish colour schemes that they had in the early 2000s. And they've come on to more realistic looking stuff. So they really, that blue and that red was nice. It was really nice. So, I preferred that kind of a colour scheme and look than to this one. But it's still pretty cool. I could use that in my street race vids, and it'll be pretty alright, because I haven't really used an American supercar yet. So it could be the Ford GT. I haven't used the Mustang either. So one out of them 2. Tell me which one you guys prefer. One out of them 2 guys will be getting used in them bids. So it should be pretty cool. And now that I've converted my all-wheel drive cars to 98mm, and I've always kept, guys, a proper array, a variety of wheels for the MR03 and also for my all-wheel drive ones, just for this kind of situation that I end up with a body shell and I need to have wheels to fit it. So I've always kept wheels. I mean, you can buy them packs, but I don't really... You know the ones I'm talking about, guys. They come in a grey colour. They come in a chrome colour, but they're run of the mill. And you know, I'm not a massive fan of run of the mill stuff. So what I tend to do is I tend to try and get lots of wheels that are different offsets, and that way, if I have a weird body shell that I can't find wheels. I mean, sometimes the stock wheels aren't doing it for me. I want to have wheels that can accommodate that body shell, no matter what size it is. So I've kind of done that. There isn't a shell that I come across that I'm not able to get wheels for, so I can pull something out and it'll fit. The only downside of that is they need to bring out more all-wheel drive wheels, more variety, because it's a bit dead. What would have been pretty cool, guys, is adapters. Now, I tried the adapters and they don't work with wheels with an offset. So it's a bit of a daft design. X-Mod wheels aren't bad, but they're kind of like a semicircle shape. But they've got quite a bit of variety. Now, if there was a way to block the semicircle, you know, there won't be much to fit something in there. And you've got access to a whole heap of wheels. They brought out a lot of wheels. So that's something we could look into. But really, guys, someone should have brought out an adapter that will convert the MR03 type wheels to drift wheels. And they solve the riddle of what do you do with the offset. Because bearings aren't in the all-wheel drive wheels, but they are in the MR03 wheels. That's where your problem arises. And offsets, that they're different, aren't they? So I don't know, man. I'm so surprised no one's done that. I'm surprised no one's brought out side mounts. I know they're different for each car, but there's a market there. There is. Why am I giving you guys all these ideas? Anyhow, right. That's been on there. It's had its little twirl. It's had its 5 minutes of fame, if that. And let's move on, guys, because you know there's a few more little beauties that we need to be checking out. But that goes well together. I think that's alright. It's a nice little fit. And hopefully you might see that in an upcoming vid. You know, let's see how we get on with that. But I kind of like prefer that to the Gulf version. The Gulf version is pretty cool because I only have one of the Gulf car, and that's the McLaren. And I went for that one because it had red wheels, and the wheels went with the shell. That was the pulling point. So apart from that, Gulf has never really appealed to me. So I got these as a bundle, and I think it looks okay. Let's see. Watch this space, guys. Okay, let's move on. Okay, guys. Here we've got Charisma's offering. This is the 124 scale Subaru Impreza WRC 1999, and it's not bad. It isn't bad. Compared to the stuff they brought out before, I like that. I like the fact they've got designated wheels, they've got officially licensed body shells, they've upgraded the steering links, they've put a decent brushless motor inside there. I just don't like the transmitter. But apart from that, they're onto a winner, man. That's not bad. I'm surprised. I don't think it's taken off as much as what they expected, but you know, you wouldn't put it this way, guys. We're into Mini Zs, right? We like our small scale stuff, and to be honest with you, I couldn't do half the stuff that I'd want to do with the Mini Z with that. Really, it's okay to drive it indoors, but you're gonna run out of space pretty quick. They're pretty nippy. But making race vids and stuff like that, it'd be difficult because of the scale, because they're a bit big, right? I think they're probably about 2 centimeters in every direction bigger than a Mini Z, if not more. But it's still a decent, you know what I mean? If I was new in RCs, I would definitely get one of them. Definitely, I'm not. Now, understand, I paid for that. There's no sponsorship here. And to be honest with you guys, I haven't pursued sponsorships. I didn't like the feeling that I got once. Banggood sent me something once, and they goes, make sure you send, you know, we see the video and don't release it. And I was like, what? I'm not gonna. So I haven't put myself forward for affiliate marketing. I just feel like sometimes you do feel pressured into giving them a good review, and I don't really want to be like that. I'd rather spend my own money and tell you how it is. That's how it is. So, okay. So, this has got a powerful 8000 kV brushless motor, high speed steering servo, it's got brushless power, 7.2 volt NIMA battery, and it's officially licensed. It's got 2.4 gigahertz FHSS. It's ready to run, which is pretty cool, and it's 4-wheel drive, and this is classed as a GT24. It doesn't have oil-filled shocks. They call them friction damper, which really, that was a bit of a cop-out because it's not cheap. It's about 112, 115 pound. Cheaper than Mini Z. You're getting more. If it wasn't for the scale realism and it wasn't for the like die-cast body shell that a Mini Z has, you're getting more bang for your buck in that car. You definitely are. Right? Because you can do that indoors, outdoors, you can change it to a buggy. It's a lot more versatile. It's got all the brushless upgrades, everything like that. I don't think it has many alloy part upgrades, but I don't know how strong this is right now. But you're getting more there, guys. But really, they should have looked at putting oil fill shocks. But I suppose it would have bumped the price up a little bit. A better transmitter. So anyhow, so yeah. You know, yeah. Let's see how we get on. That's it. My only issues that I think I might have with this are the steering servo. I don't know how strong it's really going to be, okay, and the linkages look better, but let me see how we get on with that. But apart from that, I can't knock it. And even the buggies don't come with oil-filled shocks, which they really should have, because you can jump these, man. You can jump. You'll be surprised, guys. You can get some good height out of these. I mean, I jump Mini Z's, yeah, but these little babies will jump. They'll clear 4 or 5 feet easier. Then depends on how you land it. But obviously, oil-filled shocks do help with cushioning. So it's got a slipper clutch, which is pretty cool. Independent suspension arms, and obviously we know about the motor as well. And that's a big step up for them, guys, compared to their first offerings, yeah, and the GT24 class. That looks like a completely different car. Yeah, it's like they've tried to enter into the Mini Z world, but kind of like skinny dipped, in the sense that they haven't gone for the same scale, they've gone for a bigger scale. And it's got its pluses and minuses. Do you get it? So if I was new into RCs, I would probably get I'd get Mini Zs, obviously, because I like doing the vids. But that's something that, if my kids were small, I would get. Don't buy the rubbish from Walmart or Argos. Well, I don't know about Walmart that much, because in England we have Asda, and the stuff you're going to get from places like that, you put it in the bin like a month later. But obviously with hobby grade, you can always replace parts. That's the benefit of it. So if you've got kids and they like RC toys, that is a very good offering. It might be a bit fast for them, but it's not bad, you know, guys. And as I say, I'm getting no benefit out of this. I'm just telling you how it is. The first ones weren't bad, but the fact that they kind of cut corners on the wheels, you know, the way they looked, and the body shells, and I don't know how the body shells will last. It would have been nice if they'd have had like a rubber moulding on the front of the actual car, because it's going to take some hammering. It's going to, yeah, I mean, let's see if I'm wrong, but it will. I think it's going to get some abuse. I'm not too bad at driving. I'm just saying, if it was a new person or young child, I can imagine they'd be knocking that about quite a bit, because it's pretty nippy. It is nippy. It is fun. It will be fun. Yeah. So maybe I should do a drag race between that and my fastest Mini Z. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I want to do drag racing. I want to do a long jump competition as well. Anyhow, that's all to come. So, pretty cool. These two actually get a thumbs up from me, right? You know, I love my Kyosho stuff, but even without driving, I will tell you right now, they're going to be decent machines. I can see they've evolved, they've upgraded, they've corrected what was wrong, and I can guarantee it's going to be pretty good. Okay, let's move on.